What's up, everybody? It is a beautiful Saturday morning, and we are out here on a cool, beautiful morning, hanging out, playing around. Miss Nala girl is running around. Everett is using his tools to do God knows what. But anyway, yesterday we went on a fishing trip, and we caught a pretty good little mess of bluegill. Not many, about 10, I think, something like that. And gonna clean them up, get them ready for the fryer, and I'm gonna show you how to fillet a bluegill or panfish, and this applies to really lots of different fish. So Nala got her some scraps. We've already done a couple of them. So anyway, we're gonna do that now. I'll talk you through it. Here we go. Here we have our bluegill, one of the ones that we caught yesterday on our fishing trip. And so basically, what I'm gonna show you, the only thing you're going to need is a fillet knife. And you can, there's the electronic ones that make it a little bit easier here and there and things like that. But for this method, just a knife is all you need. Make sure it's kind of good and sharp. That'll definitely make your life easier. And so one thing I'm of the mind of is you didn't rush things when you were getting your gear and your fishing and things like that. So don't rush this process. And so take your time, learn how to do this, and it just makes the whole experience that much better for you to be able to process your food and then cook it up and all that good stuff too. So basically, getting started here, we have the pectoral fin, and you're going to come right behind that fin, and you're just going to make one cut along the width of the fish. And then what you're going to do is come up here at the top of the fish, and you're going to ease your knife along the back spine. And you're gonna feel some bones and stuff here at the first part where his ribs are, and then it's gonna open up, and then you're gonna drag your knife all the way down the length of the fish. Now, one thing to keep in mind is always keep your knife kind of angled down a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit towards the fish, so that you get all the meat that you can. And so again, I'm just taking my knife here, I'm running down the spine, keeping everything, and so right there, I felt that kind of give up, and I'm just simply gonna take my knife now and push through the other side of the fish, and you'll feel that give about midway through the body, and then you're just gonna keep working that knife all the way down, again keeping everything angled so you get as much meat as you possibly can all the way out the back of the tail. And so now what you have is the majority of the fillet is freed up. This is some bone there, and then up here we're still attached at the rib cage. Now, what you could do is just cut it all the way off, get the ribs out later. But what I like to do, you can just kind of fold it up, and you'll feel those ribs there. Right there they are, and you can even hear them here in just a second. But just run your knife along those ribs. Hear those? Those are the ribs. If you just run your knife, just kind of ease it down through there, you'll free up all that meat from the ribs, and you'll be left with a fillet that has no bones. And so now we're here, and then all you do is simply cut the end of it off, and there we go. Now we have a nice little fillet there. So now you're left with a fillet free of any bones. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Again, come behind that pectoral bone, or that pectoral fin, sorry, and make a cut the width of the fish all the way down, and you'll get stopped by that. There's some bone down there that'll kind of stop your knife from going all the way through, but you're making that cut. Come up here at the top and run your knife along the back of the fish, like so. And again, there's that about midway down, you'll kind of be freed up. You can actually take your knife all the way through and kind of lift up the meat there too to help you out a little bit, all the way through, and then angle your knife down and just finish on out the tail. And then again, only thing holding you back is that rib. So you can ease your knife along those, free up all that meat. Hear those? There's those ribs. And again, you're just gently running your knife along those ribs to clean all that meat off of there. And there you are. 2 fillets. Now, there's what's left, and really it may look like a lot, but the only thing here is, yes, there's some meat in between the bones, but literally we've cleaned both sides. We got all the meat. There's the guts down in here behind the ribs. There's the head, and so that's pretty much good and clean. Now, what you can do is just scale the fish and fry it whole, gut it, and things like that. But with having a little boy and kids and things like that, I like to get all those bones out of there just to make it easier on them so they don't get choked up. So now that we have 2 fillets, what you're going to do is you're going to want to pinch kind of the end of the tail. And again, this is really where that knife, folding that knife down, comes into play, because you want to get all that meat off of there. So just make a little cut. All the while you're pinching down on the back of that, the skin part of the fillet, and you're just guiding your knife all the way down. You can take your time. Again, see how my knife is just a little bit angled. Scoot this back just a little bit. And run your knife down like so. And boom, there you have it. You have a fillet here. And then the only thing left is literally just scales, skin, and all that good stuff. That can be thrown in the trash. So again, here we are. This fillet, we're pinching down.
Daddy.
What's up, bud? And we're just
What is
easing
Nana
her knife.
eating?
I think she's getting some scraps of the fish.
I think she's eating
Nothing
it.
much goes to waste around here between the
Is
dog
she
and the
eating
family.
the fish?
Running your knife, keep it at an angle all the way down, and there you are. You're left with a beautiful boneless fillet of bluegill. So we don't have a ton of fish, but this is enough for an awesome meal, and we're excited. One thing I want to point out too is although this is a pretty boneless method, sometimes even when you are finished with your fillet, you'll still have some straggler bones in there. It'll usually just be a couple, but just be mindful of that, especially if you got kids and things like that and you're trying to get your fish completely boneless. So I'm just going to take this and trim those few guys out of there. And again, it kind of takes away some of the meat, but that's still a little bite size, and then we get rid of those bones as well. So just keep that in mind always, and you can feel them. Once you feel your fillets, you'll feel, if there's any leftover bones. Like most of the time, you can feel everything's good, but occasionally you'll find still a straggler bone or two there. So you just want to take care of those if you can. So, all right, guys, we're getting again, it doesn't look like much, and it's not a whole lot, but it's definitely enough for a little meal. Getting some nice little fillets in there. So gonna wrap things up here, y'all. Welcome to the Live Hunting Company Outdoor Wild Game Kitchen. It's not really outdoor kitchen, but it's wild game kitchen. Here we have the legend, Miss Birdie Centers. Mama, what are we gonna be doing today, Mama? You wanna talk to the camera? You gotta look here in this lens.
Hush puppies, chicken strips, potatoes, onion rings, fried potatoes.
We have
Coleslaw.
we have a feast going on right now. We got some onion rings. Here, I'm gonna open this up. We got hush puppies, chicken, fries. Now, what we're gonna focus on is the fish that we caught yesterday. So here we have a bag of bluegill. Again, it wasn't very many fish, and they weren't really big, so it's not a whole lot of meat. And then explain to us what we got right here in this bowl.
Half cup of flour, cup of meal, salt and pepper to taste.
Yeah.
There's some chocolate milk.
Mix it all
Chocolate
together.
milk. Flour, meal, about a half cup flour, about a full cup meal. You want more meal than flour, and then some salt and pepper. However, that's personal preference.
What is
And so, what are the steps? You take the fish and basically just put them in that mixture, and then just drop them in the fryer.
Have your fish a little dry so the meal mixture will stick.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so we got just a pan. What kind of oil is that?
Oh, it's just canola oil,
Just regular canola oil.
whichever you want to use.
And you want it not real thick, but it needs to cover up each piece of fish pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So you can see kind of.
Have your skillet about half full. You can use a kettle or a skillet, whichever. Let's put the fish on a napkin,
That's
paper
the
towel.
fish. Oh, I loved it. My hands are dirty.
Your hands are dirty. You've got meal and flour. Now let that drain just a minute.
This is flour.
That's what you cook with.
Oh.
Let's put some of this.
So what's that there?
This is blackened magic. You don't have to put salt and pepper if you put this. You just add salt, pepper, this, whatever you like.
That's what I love about old time cooking. There's not really a number you put on
Just
anything.
do what you want to do.
It's creativity. So fish, some
These
of
are,
that seasoning.
and they're just little pieces. Let's just put it all in here. Okay, let me have it a minute. Do this.
Don't be whining, bud.
Here,
There you go. Help out. Help mix
Here.
them in there.
here's you some on the thing.
Here, you mix in there too. There you go.
Just keep it on there. Just a minute. We got to fry. This will fry quick because it's little thin pieces.
You can have it just a minute, bud. Hold on. We're just getting the fish out of it. So you see there, it's pretty good amount of oil in there. Dropping the fish in there, and you want your heat on about medium high. So it's sitting right now on about 7 on our oven here. Medium high heat. You want it good and hot when you drop it in there, right?
Yeah. You just kind of stay right with it and screw with it. So fry this little bunch. And we'll
There's
take
some
it
fish, guys.
If you guys would like more recipes like this, give us a thumbs up, comment below, let us know what you'd like to see.
I'll do this little skillet and then I'll put the rest in. These are about
So
done.
these are, yep. And so basically you're just waiting for them to get kind of like a golden brown color.
It depends on how thick they are. That's how long it's going to take to do them. Drain them on a paper towel. There's that little bit.
There we have it, y'all. First batch.
You turn it down, it's hot.
That's the fruit of our labor.
Labor.
Not label. Fruit of our labor.
Meal kind of falls off in here, so.
And that's why you want it really hot when you put it in, right? So that it kind of has a chance to cook and that crisp stays on the fish rather than falling off of it, right?
That's it. Kind of seals it into it. And everything to play in the meal.
Are you going to be a cook one day?
Yeah. I've got two paddles.
Well, your daddy said hold on, you're getting it on that, okay? You're getting it on pretty close, too.
Oh, it's juicy.
It'll come off when it dries a little bit. Wait just a minute.
Hey, Mom, I was wiping my hands so the dust can get off my hands. Yeah, it's
Alright, guys, we have coleslaw, best ever made. Fried fish, so that's a pretty good little mess from about 9 fish. Pretty good little amount right there. Onion rings, that's chicken. Now this, so you can see the difference. This chicken, it has more of kind of like a Long John Silver type of batter. And so you can see it's a little bit different than this stuff.
This batter in this
And so
bag, that's how that turns
That's
out.
kind of the two differences as far as batter. You could do the fish in this wet batter too, but we just like it this way. So
I bet that man standing up is on the coffee table. Go in there, I'll show you.
Papa and Ray couldn't get the job done catching bluegill, so I had to go and catch a mess so we could have something to eat. All right, Papa, get the first bite right there and let's get a reaction. See what you think. Is it hot?
And
First of all, I got burned up here on my bluegill fillet here, which is out of this world. Outstanding.
Is it good?
No, boy, is it good. It's best. That's top. And this coleslaw that's neighboring here with bluegills, it is out of this world too. This is ready to go.
Got fries.
Got fries. Then onion ring. And these hush puppies, I'll let you just taste them yourself. You'll find out just how good they really are. And I'm telling you, you can't eat one and quit. Just like Lay's potato chips, you bite one, eat one, you gotta eat 4, 5, or 6. Man, thank the Lord for this beautiful day we got today, and the little boy's better, and I hope Birdie's throat's getting better, and we just ask that you touch him if you can, and we know you can. We follow you, we believe in you, and we love you, and you always will. We'll sign off right there and let
Amen.